You're looking at your garden and you notice a plant starting to fail. The lower leaves are turning yellow, growth slows, and the entire plant begins drooping toward the soil. When you see these symptoms, the logical assumption is that the plant needs your help. It looks incredibly thirsty, or perhaps it's starving for nutrients. So you do what any caring gardener would do. You grab the watering can to soak the soil and maybe mix in a heavy dose of fertilizer to give it a quick boost. But instead of bouncing back, the plant continues to wilt. In fact, those extra drinks of water and nutrient boosts actively accelerate its decline. By reacting only to what is visible above the surface, we miss the conditions underground. Our rescue attempts turn into the exact mechanism destroying the plant. Most of us think of roots as simple straws, pulling up water and sending it to the leaves. But roots are living tissue, and they require a constant supply of oxygen to survive and function. This animated diagram shows a microscopic cross-section of healthy soil. Notice the balance between the solid brown dirt particles, the blue moisture, and those white empty gaps. Those gaps are microscopic air pockets, allowing the roots to breathe while they drink. But watch what happens during overwatering or in heavily compacted clay. The excess moisture gets trapped and physically pushes out all the remaining air, completely erasing those critical empty spaces. Without access to oxygen, the roots begin to suffocate. This immediate stress weakens the plant's ability to defend itself from its environment. Root rot is rarely an unprovoked disease attacking a healthy host. The rot is a secondary symptom. The primary failure is environmental suffocation. Once the soil becomes waterlogged and oxygen levels drop, it creates the perfect breeding ground for opportunistic pathogens. Fungi like Pythium and Phytophthora thrive specifically in these suffocating anaerobic conditions. Because the plant's natural defenses are already broken down from a lack of air, these pathogens move in quickly to consume the weakened root structure. Underground, the healthy, firm white strands degrade into a brown, slimy mush that gives off a foul smell. This side-by-side diagram illustrates why these symptoms mimic thirst. On the left, a thirsty plant recovers because its internal tubes are still intact. On the right, a rotted plant stays wilted regardless of soil moisture because its internal plumbing is completely severed. This is why pouring more water onto a wilting, rotted plant is disastrous. You are drowning a biological system that has lost its physical ability to take a drink. Once severe root rot takes hold and spreads, recovery is difficult. The most effective strategy is managing the physical environment of your garden before you begin planting. This diagram shows a structural solution. Organic compost binds dirt into clumps called soil aggregates, preserving clear pathways for air. We also use gravity. This cross-section compares structures. The flat bed traps water statically, while the raised bed pulls excess liquid downward, away from roots. Above the surface, maintaining proper spacing between plants and keeping thick mulch away from the stems allows sunlight and airflow to dry the upper layers of soil. Preventing root rot requires us to treat the garden as a physical system. We are taking a static patch of dirt and building a structure balanced between moisture and oxygen. Instead of watering on a rigid schedule, experienced gardeners develop the habit of physically checking the soil moisture and occasionally inspecting the roots to ensure they are firm and white. When you maintain that well-aerated, compost-rich soil, you also cultivate a population of beneficial microbes that outcompete the harmful pathogens. Optimizing this hidden ecosystem leads to a chain reaction above ground, resulting in better nutrient uptake, improved drought tolerance, and stronger disease resistance. By the time you see wilting or yellowing leaves, the damage underground has usually been progressing for weeks. Gardening changes when you stop focusing on watering the leaves and start managing the balance of air and moisture in the soil. Sometimes the most helpful thing you can do for a plant is just let the roots breathe.